So here I have a couple questions. Why are all the Clow cards in a book in her basement? And why are there other child card captors if all the cards have been trapped in her basement for years?
Jay?
It's a great question.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, man, I watched 35 episodes of this show, okay? I have as much information as you.
Okay.
So I will keep watching it, and I will have an answer for you eventually. But
I would love to know the answers to those questions.
All right, you want to get the clapper?
Clap off.
Clappity clap, clap, clap.
Clap on, clap off.
Clap on.
clapper.
No, don't do that. Actually, fine. Fuck it.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Did I do another one?
No, it's fine.
What do I do?
Well, I usually just want one solid clap.
Okay, ready?
And you give me a shit for not doing a solid clap.
I did 2 good claps. Right, here's your one.
You
good
did
clap.
not.
Ready?
You did not do 2 solid claps. They were mediocre at best.
Dude, don't even step to me about clapping right now. Ready? Here you go. I'm going to break it.
Okay. Thank you.
I am going to break it. None of that in this show.
no face?
Yeah.
Everybody watching right now just clicked off the video.
These guys are fucking idiots. And they're right. Mikey, you're making it weird.
Oh, boy.
And welcome back to Anime Shmanime. I'm Mikey Lee. We've got
I'm Jordy.
and we've got Senpai.
I'm Jay. Hello.
What's
Yes, it's the podcast and anime podcast where we try to get our friend Jordy here to like anime as much as we do because he's skeptical and an asshole.
I don't know if those things apply.
I agree with one of those things.
I wouldn't even say
He's
skeptical is
definitely not
appropriate.
skeptical.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. All right, see you guys later.
Yeah, buddy.
Goodbye.
Just kidding. No, I'm into it.
No, I got to get in the zone here because I feel like I'm going to be fighting you on this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
It's not
this
fight. It's healthy discourse.
Yes. This is a big one because this is the first time we're doing a magical episode, or magical girl episode.
I was going
Yeah,
to say, we've
yes,
done many magical episodes.
Yes.
I would
we've
also
done-
say it's our first like shoujo as well,
Yeah.
where like
And
the target demographic is young girls.
girls.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. This one's a weird one for me because growing up, I watched it. I didn't finish it. I'm just not too into magical girl stuff.
Would you say it's just maybe not for you?
Well, this is the first time where I'm like, because normally everything's for me.
Yeah, but not this, right?
But magical girl stuff is hard. Like I like Sailor Moon. I finished that one.
yeah.
But again, it was just magical girl as the genre just doesn't hit home
It's just
for me.
not for you.
Yeah, not
and so
my
this show,
cup of tea.
maybe not for me. Like,
But here's the thing. This is a huge genre. This is a huge. So we have
Sure.
to do this,
Yeah.
and we obviously have to start with like an iconic one because this one is and was huge. And they did like a re-release with Cardcaptor Sakura, but we did the OG.
wait,
No,
hold on.
that is the OG.
So sorry, yeah,
You
that's
just
the,
fucked
there
me
we
up
go.
because I was like, bro, that's what I watched.
Yeah.
Then there's Card Captors. Okay, so yeah, so obviously my Shweebs, you know which one's the real one.
I've
let's
joked
be
about
really-
that before, but for a second there, I literally sweat through my shirt and was like, no, it happened.
No, don't worry.
Okay.
Also, this one goes out to
Jacob, our boy Jacob,
yeah, who's also going to help me.
who we want to hold hands with.
Yes.
Because we love you, Jacob, and you love magical girl anime. We did it. I convinced them. I finally.
It didn't really take a lot of
convinced them.
convincing because I knew we had to do it.
We had to do it.
And
We
we were
always
going to do
knew.
Sailor Moon at some point anyway.
Thanks, Jacob.
Don't be a dick. I was like, okay, point in case, like I was saying before, skeptical and an asshole.
I walked into
I
this with
appreciate
an
you,
open
Jacob.
mind.
I appreciate
just
you.
have opinions after watching it. So
Yeah.
saying
And-
that, maybe I am an asshole.
Yeah, your
But no,
opinion.
no.
Can't say skeptical.
I'm glad we're getting this. I'm glad we're getting it out in the open now because
Yeah.
this is obviously going to be the main crux that we're gonna kind of run into here is the fact that Jordy is not a young girl.
I mean, clearly.
In fact, at no
Clearly.
time were you a young girl.
Never.
So this is going to be like hoping and praying for some positivity despite that. That's my outlook here. That's my goal here for this one.
Okay.
I'm not expecting much here.
We'll
but
see where we go.
I think I can get you on a few.
Yeah. So you guys already know Jay is going to take the lead on this one because he actually
little bit.
rewatched it.
Yeah, I put in the
Yeah, you put in the work.
I put in the 35 episodes of season 1 here.
So did I.
Yeah.
It also should be said,
I
as you
did
know, we are going to spoil the shit of this
Yes.
show. So if you haven't seen it and you want to,
Yeah.
I don't know why, go and watch it.
Yeah. I'm going based purely off of my memory as a kid. Like every
we
other,
love that. We
yeah.
love that energy.
Yeah, because like every
Pure
other
nostalgia.
Yeah, every other like nostalgic show, unless it's something current. But anyway,
Yeah.
I digress.
Okay, so I'm going to wrap this one up, and probably not my best, but I'll say Sabrina the Teenage Witch in a really shitty Pokemon clone.
Which is funny because this actually
Not the
has
best.
a lot of crossovers. Funny enough, so I looked up a few because I did again coming into this one with
Sure, you're a
very
senpai
little-
today.
Yeah, well, I'm technically not. He's still senpai because he's going to give you the full synopsis.
Okay.
I just came with some
You
fun
just wanted to
facts.
have something at all, period.
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to nothing at all. Yeah, okay.
So I came with a few fun facts.
All right, give me what you got.
And so one of them is that actually there's a fucking Sakura clone in Pokemon.
What do you mean by Sakura clone? Like the character, Sakura? Sakura?
Yeah. So she actually shows up in Pokemon.
Really?
She has a doppelganger in it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then I
Is she a
think-
trainer?
Like a little like homage.
yeah,
or
like
something.
an homage
Yeah.
in Diamond and Pearl series.
Okay.
In episode 77.
Cool.
I'm giving you like straight facts, guys.
Sweet.
this
Is there a
time.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch crossover?
No, you can fuck off with that.
I mean,
But granted, okay. so-
Why would there be?
Yeah.
I don't know. Spells, magical spells.
But
Nobody cares about America, man.
I did like, even though like thinking back on it now, Sabrina was pretty cringy, but I did watch Sabrina a little bit.
This as
When
well.
it was on,
This
When it
as
was
well.
on, yeah. When it was on,
And I'm not talking about the reboot they just did, which was like a little gritty and a little dark.
yeah.
okay,
So
please don't talk about it.
It was bad.
yeah, and also there is a Pokemon in a Card Captor that's also in Pokemon. One
Really?
of the Eevees, yeah.
Which one?
Let me
Well, it looks derivative.
Espion, yeah, it's like a derivative.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
But like,
Oh,
it-
there
it's
Like
was
an
a-
indirect reference.
There was a cat. I remember. She stole someone's cat.
it's kind of like a foxy looking thing. It's an Eevee, right? So like, well, I mean, one of the evolutions of Eevee.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You
that being-
digress.
I
All right.
digress.
Okay.
Cool.
You want me to give you some of my thoughts aside from that it's not for me?
Yes.
So I kept thinking there has to be more than this.
Yeah.
Every episode that would start, I was like, it's got to be a little something. They got to give me something. But no, nothing.
No.
And then I started thinking maybe season 2 development, but I'm thinking probably not. Am I right?
No, I mean, there's obviously like things do conclude and like things do kind of come to a head. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I actually haven't watched all 70.
Okay.
We got halfway through this series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's
like,
a lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot. What did we do? 35 episodes.
35
right?
episodes.
Okay,
There's
yeah.
70 total.
Yeah.
Season 2 is it's not like with the remaining 35. It's not a perfect 50-50 split for
Yeah.
season 2 and 3.
Sure.
Season 2 is a bit longer. Season 3 is only like I think 10 episodes or something.
They just needed to
Much-
wrap it up
much
before they get the
shorter.
fuck out of there.
Yeah, and that really sums up this series as a whole, where it was just it got serialization,
Yeah.
it got drawn out,
Yeah.
and it just turned into this Clow Card of the Week,
Exactly.
Monster of the
Call me
Week,
Monster of the Week.
Pretty much.
formula, right? And I was wondering the same thing. I'm like, season 1 ends on episode 35. Certainly, there's something at the end of this season to kind of sink your teeth into for moving forward.
A little touch at the very end.
The
Sorry, the
ti-
second last season,
the episode,
second last episode, they get a special card,
the tiniest,
and Caro gets a little bit of his energy back.
and that's
Yeah.
like that. I think that's definitely foreshadowing for maybe like
Yeah.
a big plot point. But like, Yeah, other than that, right up to the end, it is
Not a thing.
fucking one-off
Yeah.
episodes that you could watch any one of
Yeah.
and basically just be okay to just pick it up right from
Yeah.
there.
So
Well, that was sorry.
okay, go.
That was the one thing that I did like about this when I was watching it as a kid was the monster of the week because
Okay.
I wanted to see what each card was.
we have different sensibilities, and I guess always have, because that's never done it for me ever in my life.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again,
I mean,
this is
I should
another
say,
argument
actually,
we've
I should
had
say,
for a long time
I
now.
did watch Power Rangers when I was a kid.
Yes, and that was very monster of the week.
But the monster of the week wasn't what drew me in. I didn't give a shit what the monster was going to be each week. You know what I mean?
It was Rita. She was your waifu.
Ew.
I mean, no. No, dude. I mean,
Rita
you're talking
Repulsa.
about a show that has a Pink Ranger and a Yellow Ranger, dude, and you go Rita Repulsa?
Yeah, she's the one. She's the one for you. 100%.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, man.
I think you're projecting.
They're casting her in the new movie. Helen Mirren's going to be the...
One of the three of us likes Helen Mirren. A lot. Take one guess.
Anyway, moving on.
Okay. So one thing I learned about watching this show, I feel like I had two like really big epiphany kind of moments watching the show. One, I learned that anime kind of transcends genre barriers. So like when you're an anime fan, you might like an anime that's not a genre that would otherwise work for you in any other format, but because it's anime, it kind of works, right?
Yeah.
It kind of works
That's
its
the
way in.
beauty of anime.
Yeah, and I
There's
mean,
a charm
like,
to it that you can't replicate, like especially in live action.
as a comparison, I do watch a lot of Western animated shows and movies. I've watched that stuff. I've enjoyed that stuff, but you will not catch me watching Paw Patrol for enjoyment.
Right.
Do you see what I mean?
Sure.
that
Whereas
makes
like
sense.
grown ass men and women will watch this show for enjoyment because it's anime and it does something for them.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
That also makes sense.
For me at least, like it's the art. You know what I
Sure.
mean, it's the
Yeah.
art style. It's the visuals of this because, I mean, God, I knew it right away because right from that first episode with Wendy.
Yeah.
You know when she's
Wendy.
Yeah,
Wendy,
You're
yeah.
right. Always the.
Yeah.
But like you know, some of the visuals of that when she's rollerblading and she like ends up flying onto the thing's back and it's this like the huge like action set piece.
Yeah.
In this, you know, and it's like, yeah, this is definitely targeted for like, you know, 10-year-old girls.
Yeah.
But like, holy shit, like the value that we're getting out of this art wise and like visual wise.
Yeah.
Blows any Western media out of the water.
Yeah.
It blows adult Western media out of the water, and this is for kids.
Yeah.
Well, like, so when did this originally come out? This was 90.
The anime series was 1998.
Yeah. So what came out as far as anime goes in 98? Or sorry, cartoons.
Western cartoons?
Cartoons.
I mean, when the fuck did like Batman the animated series come out? It must
Okay,
have
you
been
can't
around
compare
there.
Batman because Batman was like fucking brilliant. That's the only one that really held up.
X-Men, Ninja Turtles, all
Yeah.
those were early mid 90s,
Yeah.
like just before this,
Right?
right?
And think of that style. And those were great. And they're definitely very nostalgic. But trying to go watch that again
Yeah.
is like, I mean, there's memes about fucking Wolverine
Yeah, fair enough.
on his bed.
Yeah, like the wild thornberries.
Oh, well, shit. That's a throwback.
Powerpuff Girls.
Okay, no, I did like all the Cartoon Network stuff, like Dexter and stuff like
This
that.
is not
the
working.
the
This is not
Nickelodeon
working for
stuff.
your argument, dude. Your argument was.
I'm not making it. I'm just telling you 1998
I know,
Western
but he was saying
animation.
that
Saying,
Western
yeah.
wasn't holding up, and you're naming all these shows, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that was good. Oh yeah, that was really good."
So no.
Okay.
I will say,
retract
I
my
will say
statements.
those shows I just named are all good shows, as in like they were funny, enjoyable, like good
sure.
kind of character pieces. But from an artistic standpoint,
Okay, yeah.
you
Yes.
cannot compare Powerpuff Girls to Card Captor. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you
I know
can't.
they're apples and oranges, but like one was pushing animation in an insane direction, and
Yeah.
the other was getting by on like incredibly simplistic
Yeah.
designs.
Yeah, you're right.
Well,
100.
it's like
percent I agree with you there.
Any Cartoon Network stuff that are like Samurai Jack, it's awesome, right? We love Samurai Jack.
Yeah, I do. You're wearing a Samurai Jack shirt right now.
Oh, hey,
Nice.
well,
Fucking
thank you.
traitor.
Fuck you, man.
Yeah. Western animation, Schwestern Schmanimation is our new show,
Yeah.
by the way.
I can like other things than anime.
Oh, can you? Because every time I watch something else, you tell me to get back to watching anime. Like you're cracking a whip on me. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, go
Anyway,
ahead, buddy.
we're digressing.
Yeah.
Okay, so where
You want
were
to
we?
hear? I had another epiphany. I'll tell you that I learned about this show. I am perfect for our show.
Yes.
Because I've been passively watching mediocre TV and movie my entire life.
Yes.
My entire life. And I'm watching the show and having a hard time, but also realizing like I could do this forever. I'm not enjoying it, but I could do this forever.
This could be worse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
100%.
that says a lot.
Sure.
もしもーし、
Yeah.
大丈夫ですか？
I
good
will
one.
tell you more of my thoughts on the show as we go forward, but I think up top that's good for me. Do we want to get some history and some backstory?
Yeah. I can give a bit of history. So
Senpai.
some of this is going to be about the manga, which is like absolutely massive.
Okay.
Just such a massive hit, and so was the anime. But so yeah, Card Captor Sakura. You're gonna like this one, Jordy.
No, I won't.
Cardcaptor Sakura.
Well, Sakura is already a Japanese word for
Yes.
cherry blossom, so I'm okay with that.
It's also a name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cardcaptor.
But there's a word
Ca-
for card in Japanese and probably a word for captor.
Cardcaptor. Abbreviated as CCS, is
eat
a
it.
Japanese manga
it.
series written and illustrated by the manga group Clamp. Serialized monthly in the shoujo manga magazine Nakayoshi from May 1996 to June 2000. Again, shoujo for Jordy and for anyone who doesn't know, this is like shonen is for little boys to like, you know, Dragon Ball, Naruto, that kind of stuff. Shoujo was directed at mostly like young girls.
Yeah, it was Madhouse, right?
I'm not sure. Yes, absolutely it was. Good call, man. You're senpai.
I am senpai today.
It was also published in 12 tankobon volumes in Kodansha between 1996 and 2000. The story centers on Sakura Kinomoto, an elementary school student who discovers magical powers after accidentally freeing a set of magical cards into the world. She must retrieve the cards to prevent catastrophe. Each of these cards grants different magical powers and can only be activated by someone with inherent magical abilities. A sequel by Clamp, Card Captor Sakura Clear Card, focusing on Sakura in junior high school, began serialization in Nakayoshi in 2016. The manga was adapted into a 70-episode anime series by Madhouse that aired on Japan's satellite television from April 1998 to March 2000. There's been 2 anime films, video games, art books, picture books, film comics, you name it. This was an absolutely massive hit. This even had a really awkward time slot in Japan when it first came out that was kind of known for not having good ratings.
Okay.
And this did incredibly well in that time slot despite that.
Good for them. People made the time.
Absolutely. This was like, yeah, and for the year that this came out, like, and considering what it came before it, like, this was, people were ready for this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Sailor Moon had been a thing for a while. That was like the
Okay.
next, like, the previous, like, biggest one. And then
Yeah.
this came along and, like,
Was Sailor Moon like the first one? Like groundbreaking?
I wouldn't say
That wasn't. Yeah.
I don't know if it was the first, but it was definitely the
biggest.
first big one.
Yeah, definitely. But also, Sailor Moon also kind of attracted young boys too because it was like a cool way of looking. I mean, they've never seen animated girls like that before in any kind of animation, like even any of the other cartoons.
Right.
Right. And so,
If I remember correctly, they were like kind of scantily clad. At least
yeah,
their
a little
skirts
bit.
were very short.
Yeah.
right?
And like the transformation, right? Like, I feel like if we did like a Madoka Magica episode, I'd be more into it.
Yeah, that's
Bro, we're still talking about children, right?
Well, the thing about Madoka Magica is that they take all the tropes from a magical girl and flip it on its head.
Okay.
Right?
very
So-
subversive.
Yeah,
Okay,
which
okay,
I really
okay.
like.
But like,
Yeah, that sounds like up your alley.
yeah, but you got to see some of the OGs
Yeah.
first to understand when they flip it,
I
right?
Yeah.
gotcha. That's true. It's not like asking to watch anime for the first time and giving someone Hunter x Hunter. Right?
Okay,
Yeah.
can we let that go?
No, because that's the reason we have a show.
By the way, just so we know, the first magical girl anime would probably be credited to Sally the Witch, which was 1966 to 1968.
Oh, yeah.
Respect, Sally.
Yeah, so this genre goes way the fuck back.
All right.
Yeah.
But
That's like back in Astro Boy days.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
and it looks a lot like that. But then yeah, Sailor Moon like didn't hit like in the West until like 1992 probably.
Okay.
Yeah, but then like you have stuff like like Cutie Honey is like another one that came out like around the same time that was like really, really popular, Magical Girl. And that was Go Nagai, who did that one. And he's like super, super famous. A lot of people would probably know him from, he's the Devilman guy. He's the guy behind Devilman.
I hear Devilman a lot, but
a lot of people.
I hear we're gonna watch it one day.
We are gonna watch it one day.
For sure we will.
Okay, yeah, we have to. It's another big one.
But he's also behind like Mazinger Z, for anybody who knows about Mazinger.
Yeah,
which is
that was like a big mech show back in the day.
Yeah, super robot, you know.
Yeah. That was like the beginning of that kind of genre too.
Yeah, so those are some
And
of the
Grandizer Screw Punch.
He didn't do Grandizer, but yeah,
No,
that was
but
of the
it's
time.
the same
Yeah,
era.
Yeah. But yeah, so they're
And like the Sentai stuff was coming out too, like what was it, Voltron and
Is Voltron anime?
Voltron's anime.
I don't know. It was
The
really
OG.
popular in the West when we were kids too. So
Yeah.
was it?
I feel
I
like
thought it was US.
Was it U.S.? Fuck. Now I'm getting all confused.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway,
you guys want to move on?
sure.
got-
Sounds like you do.
Well, I mean, you can keep going, but you got more?
No, I mean that kind of sums up just a little. You know, I just wanted to give like a little preface to like kind of what was going on as far as Magical Girl anime leading up to this, and kind of what the world had seen at this point. Because, I think that's just important to understanding why this did so well.
For sure.
Why this was received the way it was.
Yeah, and it is our intro to the genre too. So
yeah.
Yeah. But like I just found this show so fucking delightful. Like
you?
just in general. Like it was just such an easy, light watch. You know what I mean?
I actually watching this show had that thought and thinking of you, and I was like, Jay loves this, and it's because Dragon Maid.
In
It
a sense,
fills the
yeah.
same hole
Is it
for you.
because Dragon Maid, or does Jay like Dragon Maid because this?
It doesn't matter. There's a hole in Jay, and it's filled by shows like this.
Absolutely. Like there is something
Yeah.
that I just get drawn into, like the levity of it all. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That like even when shit gets like hits the fan in
Yeah.
Card Captor,
Yeah.
it's like it's not that big a deal.
No,
you know
it
what
really
I mean? Like
isn't,
the
yeah.
stakes never really get that high.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's gonna be fine. You
It's
know,
because
it is.
you're the most wholesome motherfucker I know. I hope you know that, dude.
I'm glad you think so. I'm glad you think so.
I do, and I love you for it, even though I make it hard for you.
Yeah.
But I knew from when I put on episode 1 and watched this, I was just like, I just had a smile on my face. I was like, all right. What I will say is that by episode 35, I was just like, this is a lot. This is a lot of this.
Telling me, man. You're telling
So
me.
I'm with you
because,
there.
can I be honest with you? That was my thought on episode 1.
Right from the gate.
Pretty early on. Maybe not episode 1, but episode 2 at the latest.
Okay.
Really
Oh my
quickly, dude.
God.
Okay.
And again, I had that thought of like, there must be more. But the more episodes that came and the more not anything more there was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was getting ready to give up.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was a tough watch for me, dude.
I hear you.
From the get. Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I think there's, there's a lot of interesting characters in this. There's a lot of interesting decisions made with whatever plot there is.
Well, I
that
mean,
kind of stand out, but like I think you're right. Like at the end of the day, it's just hard to sit through 35 episodes of every morning waking up with a fresh slate, as if nothing happened the day before.
Not to mention, it should be noted that like I binge these shows.
Yeah.
So I'm watching like 10 to 12 in a row
yeah.
by myself. Do you know what I mean? That's hard. If it was like 1 week and I dug the characters or dug the art, that might make a whole different viewing experience for me.
This is what, like I've said this before. It's like the binge culture kind of ruins it for shows sometimes, right? Where like when you're consuming it week by week, especially like it gives you a palate cleanser.
Well, shows
right?
weren't always made for that. Nowadays, shows are made for that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? These days, they're made for that. Even anime, I'd say Attack on Titan, something like that. That's a bingeable show.
Yes,
You
but
could smash that out.
I would still argue that it's still better consumed week by week. Because like when shit goes down on like AOT, like I can't wait for the next week. I love that feeling of anticipation,
But
right?
if you binge it, you don't have to wait.
But it makes you God damn it, Jordy. No, but it's that anticipation, the excitement for when it finally comes and you're finally satisfied or not satisfied because, you got to wait another week for other shit, right? Like,
Fair enough. I see both sides of that coin.
Yeah,
for sure. I'm just
definitely.
saying that, like, I binged this show.
Yeah.
This is not a show to binge.
No.
I think about like how I originally absorbed it, and it was on in the mornings before I'd go to school. Like first thing in the
You know
morning,
what, dude?
I'd be having like breakfast or something.
That sounds fucking lovely.
and like
to be
I'm
honest with you.
about to head out for the day,
Yeah,
and I would just
yeah.
turn on the TV and Cardcaptor would be on. I'd be like, "Fuck, all right, I'll watch this."
I wish that was my experience.
And so that's what I'm saying, right? Because then, like, it's a very wholesome show, and every week you find a new card, you get a new cool character design of whatever's on that card, whether it be the fucking Father Time or the scary Cerberus version.
More
whatever.
importantly, you get another cute outfit for Sakura.
yeah.
yeah, you do.
Actually,
every time.
Yeah.
little fun fact about those outfits. Apparently, her little friend actually makes them.
Yes.
Tomoyo?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's-
every outfit.
But that's in the show.
Oh, well,
I knew that.
Okay, so I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And while looking up fun facts, it was
She pulls up with a van,
Yeah.
and Sakura gets in, and it's just like lined with fucking gear.
Yeah, because she's rich as fuck, isn't she?
Rich
Isn't that her
as
thing?
fuck.
Yeah.
And also, probably my favorite character of the whole show.
Really, eh?
I love Tomoyo, man.
I have a more obvious character. We'll get into that. Okay.
Okay.
Let me tell you about the world, and instead of the world, I'm going to lay out the cards because the world is just Japan. The cards is really what sets this show apart from being just Japan, right? So
Yeah.
here's the way the cards work. They're alive, right? And they act at a free will, and some of them are mischievous. And some dude named Clow Reed made them.
Yes.
We don't know who he is. I don't think it matters. He's just was a guy who did this,
Sure.
right? We don't even know his motives.
Not in this
At all.
Yeah, not
He
in
just
this
did-
season,
he
that's
just
for sure.
did it.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't matter. And apparently, if they're not all captured, catastrophe will befall the world.
Well, I mean, yeah, you kind of see that throughout the season, right? Like she comes through in the nick of time and kind of stops these somewhat
Yeah.
minor, somewhat major instances from happening. If she didn't prevent any of those, then
It
you
could get worse
you
and
could
worse and
call
worse.
that a catastrophe.
Okay,
Yeah.
a bit of a stretch, but I get you.
But she could have prevented so much more, especially if you guys like and subscribe and prevent us from not doing our podcast anymore because we don't have enough people helping us out.
Jordy's reaction to that was so fucking good. Oh my
I
god.
don't know anymore. I don't know anymore, bro. I don't know, but yeah, do like and subscribe because maybe there will be less catastrophe.
Yeah, exactly, because help prevent us from, keeping this going. And not letting it die.
Yeah.
Because we enjoy
It's for the
doing
levity. We can cause levity like this show did in your life.
Yes.
And comment what shows you want us to do, guys, because
Yeah.
we keep doing ones that get commented a lot. We know we haven't done all of the ones that have been commented. Just chill, we'll get to it. But
Yes, we will.
This is one that was requested. We've done a bunch so far that have been
Yeah.
requested. So keep that shit coming.
Yeah.
And if you've already requested it, request it again.
Yeah.
And we'll keep it in line.
I'd love to make you feel shitty about the things you enjoy.
Fucking
Just saying.
try.
I enjoy
You
that.
try.
such a dick.
That brings me joy in my life.
But you do end up liking some of them.
Some of them, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. That's
Yeah.
great because that brings also betterment into my life.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the art. So, I know you just gushed about the art a lot. I didn't find it to be groundbreaking, but again, I didn't watch it in 1998.
Yeah.
When everything else around it was super simple. That seems to be a common trend in shows we watch, where I'm watching them now, not taking into context when they were related, when they were released. Sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean, this was kind of alongside like Pokemon, I guess, as far as like
Pokemon, Dragon Ball,
like other anime at the time. So I wouldn't say that it was necessarily a standout amongst its contemporaries,
Sure.
because it's kind of just on par with those, I would say.
Yeah, there are some
but
things I noticed. For example, like one thing that was weird, and then one thing that was cool. Okay, so weird. All the grown-ups have weird body proportions, tiny little heads, massive broad shoulders.
Yeah.
And they're all like
That's-
way too tall, even if they're not that grown up.
That's to the style though of the era.
It was very strange. It looked like they were all wearing shoulder padded suit jackets, which they probably were at the time.
They have the V shape because the 90s the animation style was all like that.
Yeah.
You'll notice too, like depending on the decade of what anime we're watching, there's a specific style to that animation, like I guess generation.
Yeah.
That is very prominent across the board.
Interesting.
And you'll like for someone like myself and Jay who has watched this growing up, like we've seen how the animation style changes and grows. It's really like fashion, right? Like
for sure, yeah.
Right? Like
There's actually a lot of links to fashion because if you look at like fashion drawings and like concept designs for clothing, like from that same era, you see very similar body proportions. You know what I mean? Like that was a very common thing in fashion design. But like
I wore my dad's suit jacket to my like grade 8 grad in 1998, and it had massive shoulder pads like that. So I can relate.
Like a fucking zoot suit.
Not quite like that, but like,
but
you get the idea.
Mikey's right. Like we've watched enough now, and I think we've got an understanding of the eras where you could show us a random screenshot from a random show that maybe we haven't even seen before, but we could probably tell you what decade it's from.
Yeah,
you guys could. I'm a moron and I'll miss it.
No, but I mean,
it
is there for you, and you'll get it, you know, after you watch enough of them, and like, but this is like peak 90s.
Yeah,
it's true
for sure.
And quickly back to the outfit thing.
Yeah.
So I'm rereading the little fun fact here, and it was based on an interview for the creative team at Clamp. They said it was sad that a person always wore the exact same thing and wanted to add a twist.
Honestly, it is sad. Some of those outfits that the superheroes have to wear, it's like you have to wear that every time, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
like, wouldn't you want to mix it up?
But that's the thing, right? Like in any animation, they're always wearing the same outfit.
A lot of the time,
right? They don't constantly change. They don't, or they might have like 2 or 3. But the fact that like you've got new ones for each card is kind of cool.
It's just super adorable that they like thought about it that way and then also executed it in like the cute ass way that they did, because the actual reason that she does wear the different outfits every time is because Tomio is filming and she thinks she looks really cute in all the different outfits and she just wants to dress up her best friend in the cutest outfit she can.
Tomio is more...
That's the reason. That's the whole reason.
She's more invested in every part of being a card captor except for capturing the cards.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a little bit more to that reason that we find out in the accurate dub and subs than the original dub.
Well, there's implications for sure. That we'll get to. Yeah, I agree. 100%. We'll get to that maybe in plot or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay. We'll get to it. So the other thing about the art that I noticed is the cards and the creatures or whatever that come out of the cards were all way cooler looking than anything else in the show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, like, as an example, like all the women look kind of like they popped out of an actual tarot card.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And all the men that came out of cards look like elvish and kind of like mischievous and weird like that, or all the like male kind of cards. And then there were like some that were just like really random, like the jump card or whatever was just this giant pink bunny.
Yeah.
So random, but it like also I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah.
But it's a method for them to kind of play with different visual stylings and different aesthetics.
And they did do that,
themes and stuff.
Because the rest of the show was all kind of same, more or less. And
even
then
her outfits, as different as they were all, they all look like they were designed by the same person.
For sure,
right?
yeah.
But yeah, I loved the tarot card influence. I loved the look of the cards and the creatures that came out. Like there was almost like a Final Fantasy vibe to some of them.
Oh
like,
I really love that.
You know, like
kind of like a Celtic mythology kind of thing going on at some points.
And obviously always like fantasy, like high fantasy like that through the lens of Japan is always my favorite. Like the way that they go about it. Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest,
Yoshitaka Amano.
There you go.
Yeah, he was
the Final Fantasy guy.
Yeah, for all the original art. Like he did a few Marvel stuff too, but I loved his shit.
Yeah,
interesting.
I loved his
Look
shit.
him up. Amano. Yoshitaka, fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just loved the Clow card designs on this, and that was actually a really big way for them to help market this show in the West as well.
Yeah.
Because that was how they were going to nail down that male audience that was out there.
I want to talk about music, but I also like didn't care for the music. I know you loved that theme song because we were literally just listening to it before we started recording.
Yep. It's cute as fuck, and it's so on brand.
I think it's going to fall under the category of a lot of the rest of the show as just not for me.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
That is honestly fair. And
Yeah.
I don't want to keep running into that,
Yeah.
this wasn't made for you.
We can breeze past it.
Fallback. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? It is what it is.
But
Okay. Can we add audio to music and talk about the dub sub here maybe?
Yeah, I think that would be a good spot to do that.
I watched the dub as I watched a lot of anime this month because it was a rough month in my life and also in the specific animes you chose to make me watch. And so I took some liberties and we'll leave it at that. So the dub was
I'm
really
disappointed in you.
bad, dude. It was really bad.
yeah,
So
I bet.
like it was
bet.
awful. But so was the original voices in my opinion, and also not to like get hung up on it again, but like so was the show in my opinion. So it didn't matter to me. You said that there's different versions of the dub and that
Yeah, so I mean, this is kind of like a big thing about this show is that, as I was just saying, that in their attempt to market this towards the West and capitalize on the massive like male anime audience that was kind of growing in the West through
Yeah.
shows like Pokemon, Digimon, Dragon Ball,
Sure.
all those ones that really had popped off. They'd made some changes when they dubbed this into English originally, and
Right.
people who had to watch this unfortunately got a version of this that changed a lot of the relationships between characters,
right.
turned character relationships into more familial, that's my bro, that's my sis, as opposed to like
Okay.
the heavy romantic tones that were actually in the original.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
so yeah, as opposed to that version, like the intended version from Japan, some people had to watch a
Yeah.
westernized, homophobic,
Yeah.
bastardization of this show.
That's a shame. I'm glad that the dub that I happened to watch, which already some might consider a bastardization, wasn't further bastardized by having that happen.
It sounds to me like it maintained, all of the
Yeah.
under and overtones that they included in this
Okay.
one. Yeah.
That being said, let's talk about some of the characters because
Yeah.
we'll get more into those
Yeah.
undertones and overtones
Yes.
Yeah.
in that section. Let's talk right off the top about the magical girl herself,
Sakura.
Sakura.
Can I
Yes.
give you a bunch of fun facts about her?
Lay them the fuck on me, bro.
Okay.
Please, yeah.
so here's a fun fact.
Yeah.
So it was originally going to be called Card Captor Nikki.
That's awful.
Yeah, she was almost called Card Captor Nikki. Yeah.
I revealed earlier to you guys that I was almost called Frederick Hedderwick. And Card Captor Nikki is worse.
She's also her blood type.
Why do I care about her blood type?
You don't, but some of our listeners and viewers might.
Hey, Shweebs, please let me know in the comments if you give a shit about Sakura's blood type.
So
Please.
her blood type is A.
Great.
Because of some promotional materials that they added. Because sometimes the thing about anime that they don't do so much in Western animation is they'll make like bios on people and give you stats on them.
Okay.
Right? So
We've seen that in sometimes after the credits, they play a card or in the halfway point of the episode.
Yeah,
a card will pop up and it'll give you some information that doesn't matter, but it's there for you.
Well, especially like in isekais where they have, they're powering up or leveling up or like what their powers are, and they'll give you an explanation or like a description on that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the other thing too is her birthday is on April 1st, and it's not because of April Fool's Day.
Great.
It's because in Japan, that's when school starts.
Oh. Sweet.
So there you go.
Everyone can celebrate Sakura's birthday. Okay, here's what I took away from Sakura as a character. The fact that she's kind of oblivious and aloof about the whole situation that's occurring to her is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that as a character trait because, again, we know she was kind of thrown into it. And that happens a lot in shows like this in general. When you're tossed into a situation you don't know what to deal with. You don't give a shit, but like now you have to deal with it.
The reluctant hero is a good.
Yeah, and she's
Yeah.
not even reluctant. She's kind of just like, I guess I'm doing this now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not like she's
She's like, she
not
has nothing
feeling
better
it.
to do,
Yeah.
so she just decides to do it.
She does get afraid
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah,
she does
that's
get
true.
scared out of
That's
wanting
true,
to
that's
do
true.
things.
She also comes from like a really tropey family situation, right? She's got mean brother, unreasonably nice dad,
Oh my god, so goddamn nice.
and dead mom.
Classic dead mom.
Very tropey, right?
Very classic,
dead mom.
classic single parent.
Yeah.
Yeah. She also has a massive crush on her brother's friend,
Yes.
who may be a grown ass man.
Tokito?
Yeah.
No, he's a teenager, like the brother.
Yeah, he looks like a grown ass man.
Well, that's the thing. The brother and the dad look like brothers.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
they look like they're the same age.
Yeah. And like because of just the art, the choices in the art, they're like 6 or 7 feet tall, and she's like 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's going on here?
It makes
It's
absolutely
very
no
confusing.
sense.
Yeah, the age difference they didn't actually tell you, so I was just left confused the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like they do go on a date, right? At some point.
Yeah, they do have kind of like a mini date episode.
Yeah.
Like they go to like the aquarium.
And I couldn't tell, like, obviously it's, your big brother's friend who knows your sister has a crush on, and he's like entertaining her.
Yeah.
Obviously
Yeah.
that's the angle, but at the same time I was like, this is a little weird. Not a lot weird.
Yeah.
A little weird.
But you can ship Sakura with almost anybody in this anime.
No,
No, you can't,
Well,
dude.
maybe not every.
you can't at all, actually.
Yeah.
You can only ship her with 2 of the characters. Tomoyo and
I ship her with Tomoyo all day
Xiao
long.
Lang.
And that's it. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit about it.
then Xiao Lang, which is like the Chinese boy that
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
comes along.
But he's shipping with a bunch of other people as well already as well.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but like but I'm just saying, like
Yeah.
as far as ages go, like you can't ship her with Tokito. Like
No.
he's too old.
You have to assume that was brother's friend entertaining the kid.
Being a good brother's friend, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? Being a nice guy to this young girl
Exactly.
who's like, yeah, she's clearly infatuated with him, but
Yeah.
like he's such a fucking sweetheart.
Yeah.
None of it is nefarious. None of it is
No.
None of it feels like grooming behavior
Yeah.
or anything like
No,
that. You
not
know
at
what
all,
I mean?
dude.
It's-
When I was younger, I
That's
took
dark.
my friend's niece to the zoo. A bunch of us took her to the zoo,
Yeah.
and she loved me, dude.
yeah.
And we all had a blast, and it was just
Exactly.
fun, good times. And we gave her a good day. You know what I mean? Like,
Literally.
it was that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
It was very wholesome, but yeah,
Yeah.
she very much had like romantic feelings for him. You know what I mean? Right from the very
big
beginning.
time. It's not. They don't even try to veil it. It's
No.
like right there in your face.
Heavy-handed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like he's always hanging out with her brother.
Yeah.
And that's interesting that they're always together.
Oh, was that a thing?
Oh my god, really, dude?
I mean, like,
That's the biggest thing.
no, it's not the biggest thing because they didn't outright come out with it.
They basically fucking did, dude.
If we're
in
talking
one
overtones,
episode.
undertones, that's an undertone.
Nope.
Really?
There was one episode at least that was very, very obvious that her brother
Yeah.
actually reciprocated the feelings.
Really? I thought her brother liked that other girl. There was like they did a musical and he was into that.
No,
other-
that's literally the episode I'm talking about, where he shuts her down and he says like, I'm sorry, like I can't like be with you that way, and it's incredibly obvious that it's because he has feelings for Tokito.
Chalk that up to things Jordy missed for 100,
Literally,
Alex. Let's go.
Man,
Because you didn't care enough.
Honestly, you're right.
that's the biggest like romance in the whole show.
Really?
I think,
Maybe.
at least from what I got.
There were a lot of romances that none of which ever like developed, and I wouldn't put any above any of the others. Personally.
I'm just saying, as far as ones that I clocked from the beginning and followed every time they were on screen together, every
Yeah.
time they had interactions, I was watching it and I was because I was thinking about them already in that way.
Yeah.
it was just so there.
I didn't catch it. Some of the other ones were so overt, and as we know, like when it's overt, I'll catch it. When it's not, I will miss it.
Did you pick up on Xiao Lang also liking Tokito?
Oh yeah, but that was overt, dude.
Okay.
They went right into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They went
Yeah.
into that one.
Well, yeah, because Tomoyo literally tells Sakura like
Yeah.
in plain English, like, oh yeah, he's got a thing for Tokito. as well.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, the brother
Yeah.
and him,
I believe it.
it was 100% there, dude.
I 100% believe that.
Yeah.
They're of an age too where like they've probably gone into it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Good for them.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hell yeah.
fuck yeah. Like I said, it was like one of my favorite parts
Yeah.
of the show was literally just like watching them like
Yeah.
from the sidelines, like
Also like
happening.
he's so nice and he's a little tough.
oh man, it's a perfect
Yeah,
ship,
yeah.
dude. It's a perfect ship. Yeah,
I like it. Okay, I'm with it.
100%.
I'm sorry I missed that.
And yeah, like we've already just kind of mentioned it, but like yeah, Xiao Lang like loving him
Yeah.
as well. Like that was an interesting kind of like curveball to have come in. You
And
know
that
what I
also
mean?
that added to his character a bit too, because it was the only thing that shook him the whole show. You know what I mean? Like he was that like kind of like balls out, overly confident kind of
Too
kid.
tough all the time. I
Yeah.
don't care about this.
But
yeah.
this rocked him, dude. Every
Oh.
time there was an interaction, it rocked him.
it changed his whole
Yeah.
demeanor, man.
And then when he found out Sakura was into him as well, and they actually like went on a date, it fucked him up, man.
oh, big time.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. He changed his character
Yeah.
entirely.
The other relationship that's worth talking about, of course, that's not really a real one, but is Tomoyo is completely infatuated with
Sakura,
Yeah,
100%.
big
Yeah,
time.
Literally. And I mean, I have a friend who credits her bisexual awakening as a young girl to Tomoyo.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I ship that relationship all day, dude.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they
And-
would also be great for each other because
Yeah.
Sakura does have a little bit of her brother's like gruff, edge. Sometimes she
Yeah.
can be grumpy and whatever, and
Yeah.
and Tomoyo is very much like Tokito in the sense that they're like soft spoken,
Yeah.
very gentle. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like again, you have those like that yin and yang.
They
kinda
fit well together
feel.
for sure, yeah.
Well, the other thing too, like in this time period, you don't see a lot of LGBTQ stuff in animation.
You're right. The
and-
representation
In the Western world, especially, and we
Yeah.
learned that even just up top on this episode,
Yeah.
they washed it out of this show
Yeah.
for a Western market.
horrible.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? So having seen some of that representation is nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. It was such a taboo thing there
Yeah.
at the time, and still is, in some ways.
Yeah. We actually got to do a yaoi or a BL episode.
Were any of those words?
Yes. BL boy love or yaoi is so it's
Boy love.
boy love. So it's like
I heard we have to do an ERE episode.
it's like that fucking
That's exactly
toy
what I heard when you said that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There's one other character worth talking about, and that's our little fucking flying mouse motherfucker,
Cerberus.
Well, no, I mean
Cerberus.
You didn't like
Cerberus.
You didn't, like,
Kerberos. It was with a K.
you didn't like Mei Ling.
I didn't care for her that much.
Okay.
I didn't. What are you gonna say about her?
I don't know. She was just like
Yeah.
she was just like a little interesting wild card for like
Yeah.
for there to be like some like female competition for Sakura as far as like taking the spotlight and
Yeah.
But wasn't she like the fiance of
Yeah.
but and their cousins?
Fiance. Yeah.
fiance.
Yeah, cousins
It was
and
classic little
whatnot.
kid being like, "That's my husband."
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
was all that was. But
She's
yeah,
a-
it was her
yeah.
cousin.
Yeah.
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 But she's a little crazy.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess
She's a crazy little girl.
Yeah.
At that age, like everybody's getting married and shit like that. I
You're
remember
playing house with
House,
everybody.
yeah.
Everybody's
Yeah.
your husband.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Everybody's your husband.
dude. I want to share a little story about that time in my life.
Oh, please fucking do, dude. Please. I want to hear this right now.
So in like grade 4 or like something like that, I was married to this one girl, but I didn't want to be. So she would chase me around. It's like, yeah, I'm married. We're married. And I'm like, no, we're not. It's like, I don't want to be married to
Yeah.
you. And then she pushes me over like during recess.
Oh, no.
And I'm on my back. And she's like, why won't you be my husband? And pushes on my stomach. And I just let one fucking rip.
you farted on your wife, bro.
And she's like, I don't want to be your wife anymore.
You did it.
Yeah, I did it.
Good
I did
job.
it. There you go. There's a little fun fact of my childhood.
Classic.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Great story.
Nice.
my magical farts.
Let's talk about. I'm going to call him Karo because that's in the dub what they referred to him
Yeah.
as. Okay,
Yeah, that was
okay,
his
good.
nickname. Yeah.
I'm going to talk about Karo. So yeah, he's like supposed to be this super fierce protector, like of
He's
the
a
cards.
Cerberus.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
Cerberus.
but
Yeah.
he's not.
No.
He's just this little
Nah.
cute little mouse.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's it. He pretends to be a
Yeah.
stuffed animal half the time
Yeah.
because he's got to pretend he's not real.
He's kind of like her little guide. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
He's like her
100%.
little encyclopedia.
Well, he's
She
the
needs one because she
Luna.
doesn't know what the fuck's going on, right?
Right. He
Yeah.
like every back then, even now too, right? Like anime always has some sort of mascot.
He's a Jiminy fucking
And-
cricket.
yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah. What
But
I
I mean,
liked
but I
about
mean, he's also Pikachu. You know.
Yeah,
he is, you're right.
Pikachu
Yeah.
or Luna from Sailor Moon.
What I liked about him the most was how he got wrapped up in the pleasures of the world. That was, I mean, that's the comic relief angle of the whole show.
I love it.
And it was great, dude. The video games, snacks and food. One time he gets hammered
Yeah.
But he's like not a fun drunk. He's
No,
like a sad,
it becomes a
shitty drunk.
problem.
Yeah. It's the best. He like falls asleep in an outside couch in the garbage. Like, it's the best. Man.
I also loved his little drawer. Like when he like makes a huge mess in it, and then they have to like kind of remodel it to be his little home.
Yeah, that was cute.
Fucking adorable.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was redeeming. I'll give him that.
Wholesome, just goofy shit.
Oh, yeah.
little things to make you smile. When you're
It was a
watching
wholesome
this
show. Yeah,
ridiculous show.
I'll give you that.
Yeah,
I wish I didn't have to binge it the way that I did. I think it ruined it, man.
I think I can understand that, man.
Yeah.
because I don't like nobody absorbed it that way.
No.
when
Yeah,
it first
growing
came
up,
out.
no.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Whether you're reading the manga or watching the show.
Yeah. It made
you
it hard.
couldn't.
It made it hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the manga like ended completely differently from the anime.
I don't even know how the anime ended, so
Yeah, well,
you
that's
guys
the
can
other
tell me
thing.
when we get to the end of plot if you want.
You know what? Call me crazy. Like I'm gonna do it much more casually and slowly, but I'm gonna finish this out.
Of course you are.
There's 35 more episodes. I've already done 35. I'm halfway through this fucking
Yeah.
show. I'm gonna finish.
You know what
it
you're gonna
out.
do? You're gonna watch one every day with your breakfast before you go to work.
I would actually love that, man.
That
would
sounds
be
great.
that would be such a cute morning ritual to get back into.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Good
it's
for
just-
you, man. Good
thank
for you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. You know
Good
what?
for you.
This,
Commit, man. Commit.
this fucking show is just good vibes. Honestly, just all around. Like everything about it was just like wholesome and fucking precious.
I wish I could agree with you. It was tainted for me. It was tainted for me.
Because it felt like a chore.
It felt like a chore, dude.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
sucks, man.
Dude, like there were nights where I felt like I was like in the weeds, and I was like, I fucking have to stay up till 1 a.m. and watch this show now, and then get up from work for tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did it. But I did it for you guys. I did it for you guys.
Thank you,
And
thank
here we
you.
are.
You're there
Okay.
for Jacob.
Let's.
We love you, Jacob.
We love you, Jacob. I do, and
We do.
I'm staying up till 1 a.m. anyways, doing fucking shit. Also, it's all good. Let's get into the plot now, okay? So the show opens up on that dream, right? The dream is she's on a rooftop in Paris. There's like an Eiffel Tower type structure there, and there's cards flying around, and the wings spread out of her shoes, and she jumps off the building. And we know that they build on this dream ever so slightly as the show goes on.
Yeah.
Ever so slightly.
Yeah.
Right?
Little glimpses.
Someone else is there.
Yeah.
You don't know who, but you're pretty sure who.
It's actually probably like the only like carried through ongoing
Yeah.
thing to follow other
get-
than her
yeah.
going through the cards, obviously, but like
Yeah.
it's the
It
only
is the only thing.
it's the only overarching thing.
Yeah, that's right. And it like is such a it evolves so gently in a couple ways, but only later on.
Yeah.
We'll get to there. So then she like I guess wakes up or whatever, and it turns out that book from her dream where the cards all came out of is in her basement. So here I have a couple questions. Why are all the Clow cards in a book in her basement? And why are there other child card captors if all the cards have been trapped in her basement for years?
Jay?
It's a great question.
Yeah, I know.
Hey man, I watched 35 episodes of this show. Okay, I have as much information as you,
Okay.
so I will keep watching it, and I will have an answer for you eventually. But
I would
those-
love to know the
these-
answers to those questions.
These are all questions that just weren't answered yet. You know what I mean? I can't help but assume that we will get answers to that. It has to be. It has to be related. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
here's the only thing I can think of. We know she's magical. And we know there's some weird shit with her mom. Right?
yes.
And
we
we
know
know
that.
how much you love magic.
Yep.
It explains everything.
So all I'm saying is like something about her mom and the fact that she was raised magical. That's why the cards were in her basement.
Yeah, I mean, they do establish that in this world there are people who have inherent magical abilities and those who do not.
And that's as far as we know.
Yeah,
That's
but
it.
so you have to assume that those who do have inherent magical abilities are probably passing it down to their kids. They're probably keeping relics like
a
this
generational
in the
thing.
family.
Yeah.
And that's maybe why they have a magical book.
That's the best I can come up with as well. Yeah.
Also,
Generational trope.
Real quick, just realized I made a huge error here. And,
did?
And everybody's going to be coming for me now. And by everybody, I mean Jacob. Okay?
Shweebs.
I'm pretty sure I called him Tokito like 8,000 times.
Is that not his
It's
name?
Yukito.
Oh,
Yukito is the soft boy that we love so much.
That
The
is
soft flower boy.
that is a bootable offense.
Yep.
I'm sorry if people come after
Yeah.
you, but for what it's worth,
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for your time.
That's a paddling.
I'm sorry if people come after you, but for what it's worth, I don't give a shit. So you're good as far as I'm concerned. You're good
Thank
as
you,
far as
because
I'm
now they're
concerned.
gonna be mad at you instead of me, because he doesn't care and I do.
Honestly,
Because I actually really loved Yukito. He's one of my favorite characters, and I'm sorry I fucked up his name.
The betrayal.
Do you know how many Japanese names go through my head when I'm prepping for these things and when I'm reading for these things?
you
It's
do a
fucking
very good job.
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
You do a
true.
very
You
good
guys
job.
actually do prep.
It's a goddamn mess.
Yeah, both of you.
Anyways,
You guys actually do prep. I just
Back
fly
on
by my
track.
fucking
Yeah.
fly by the handle.
You're good.
but
Don't stress about it.
We love that energy from you, Mikey. We love it.
Yeah. Okay, so she opens the book in her basement. Cards go flying all over the place because the windy card, I guess, is the one that's like causing some ruckus in her basement.
Yeah.
And then we meet Caro, and he's a cutie, just a fucking cute little, feisty little.
He's just a little man.
He reminds me of Toad, Mikey's cat, who just dropped all the comic books on the floor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like your quintessential, like, I will fuck shit up and then make it up to you by loving you.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh,
But he fucks shit up in the cutest way, and it's not that bad when he does
Never.
that. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
It's all kind of just low key
Yeah.
mischief.
Exactly.
it's
He's kind of
true.
like a clone
It's
card.
true. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you find out he is, of course, the keeper of the Clow Cards.
Exactly right. So he explains
Yeah.
that he tells her, like, you got to be magic if you were able to open the book, right? That's the only way that works. Also, you're a card captor now, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
That's what he explains to her. And then they capture the fly. Does he give her the key? How does she get that?
Yeah,
He
so
gives it to her?
yeah, so and then she release.
Yeah, captures the windy card. Yeah.
Creates the staff and
Yeah.
then finds out that that's her method, and it's essentially. I think they refer to it, maybe at least in the sub, as her like signing the card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like her putting.
She
her
has to write her name on it, though, doesn't she?
Yeah. But like that's like her like stamp. You know what I mean? That she
Yeah.
has to hit the card with, and,
Yeah.
and that's what triggers the monster to go back into the card.
It's her Pokeball.
Literally, yes.
Yeah,
it's like her
literally.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, another Pokemon link.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
the
you're
dash
right.
card
She-
is the fucking other Pokemon that we see, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
yeah.
But you're right. She does have to.
It's just a
sign,
prison.
She does have to sign her name.
Right.
And without getting too far ahead, there are some instances where she doesn't get the card.
Yeah.
You know
Or
what I
someone
mean?
else gets the card.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, okay,
she
yeah.
doesn't get it, but someone else does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that becomes. I thought that was maybe gonna be a way for this to get interesting.
No. No.
No.
It doesn't
Kind
really.
of just inconsequential.
It really just like it takes it from here to here.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't really do anything
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so it
Yeah,
turns out like
it was a lateral move.
It was.
at this point we're only like one card down, and in my head I'm like, she's pretty good at that. And then also I'm like, well, doesn't look that hard, to be honest with you.
No.
It's not what she has to
She
do.
got
is,
it on her first try
and
on
like,
rollerblades.
Almost all of them are kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's not that hard, but she's a kid.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
It's just the right amount of high stakes,
Yeah,
for you to believe that this 9-10-year-old girl
yeah, is gonna be able to
is
pull
going to
this
be
off.
able to handle.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So after this episode, there's like 15 straight episodes of just one card after another, and nothing else occurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just
So
kidding
we're
because
just gonna
we're running
we're
out of
just gonna
time.
go buzz right over that.
Rip
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
over.
And then we're gonna go. We meet. I forget what you called him, but they call him Lee. So that's what I called him.
Okay, yeah. So there's like a lot of different ways to like. I don't
Yeah,
know
I don't even
exactly know
remember-
the
yeah.
pronunciation because it's
Sioran?
It's Sioran, and then
Yeah.
it's Shaolan,
Yeah.
and then there's like
Sharon.
then there's
she
Shao,
straight up calls him Sharon.
then there's Shaoling.
Yeah.
Like it got
I
the
think
pronunciation
it's a
got
Chinese name,
It
right?
is.
So
it is a
Yeah.
Chinese name. So you have the Chinese name, and then you have the Japanese pronunciation of the Chinese name, and then you have the Western pronunciation of
Yeah.
the Japanese version of the Chinese name.
Yeah.
There's like all of these different ways to go through it, but I always just went with like Shao. I think it was Shaoling. I think
In the
was-
version I watched, they kept calling him just Lee.
Shao Kong.
It was like a short form. Anyways, I'm gonna call him Lee. If I'm wrong, I don't care.
no, that's his last name.
Yeah,
So
okay.
that works perfectly.
Okay,
fine.
I'm gonna go with that. So, anyways, he's the new kid at school, and he right away comes onto the scene with like this villain type energy. He's like a bad guy, and he has this device that detects Clow cards. It's like a roulette wheel kind of situation going on. And right away, he like finds Sakura and like starts trying to fight with her. Sorry.
Yeah.
And her big brother steps in. And then, but before Big Bro can like beat this little kid up, Yukito steps in and awkwardly diffuses the situation with pork buns.
Yeah.
Which
And
was
let me
like,
tell you that I can corroborate this because pork buns definitely would diffuse
Oh,
the
yeah.
situation.
yeah,
Pork
My
buns or
God.
onigiris, like those are big ones, or even yakisoba buns. Yakisoba buns are great.
You guys need to feed me more because I don't know what half that shit is.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
I'll eat that. Okay, so then they have to all work together, the two of them, to capture the Thunder card, which I don't need to explain because they're all whatever. And Lee is kind of like a dickhead about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He says, "You're not capable. I'm naturally better than you. I've been doing this for so long." But she's the one who captured it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You start to pick up a little bit of like an imposter syndrome kind of.
Well, that's what I was just about to get to. Is
yeah.
Lee showing up has a weird effect on Sakura, right? She gets imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
She thinks she's not good enough because Lee tells her she's not good enough.
Yeah.
And he's a real card captor, right? He knows how everything works. He doesn't need Caro to tell him what the fuck's going on. You know what I mean? And then Lee also is perpetuating this. He's a little dickhead. Like top to bottom, right? And he's competing with her for Clow Cards and putting down her skills constantly. And like, even though she's 90% of the time destroying him and catching them,
Yeah.
right? Like he's kind of useless.
Yep.
And so, as boring as this show kind of was, I'm getting character development here
Yeah.
for Sakura.
It's the relationships that are really developing along the way.
Yeah.
As opposed to the plot.
Yeah. I didn't see that coming. And not to mention like the way she's down on herself. Like in a show like this, you don't expect anyone to like have a hard time
Right.
in their mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
but-
and you see some development from him too, because like he also changes over time as well, and they end up in some situations where he may have like captured the Clow card per se.
Yeah.
But
But he wouldn't have been able to do it alone.
and he knows that, and he recognizes that, and there's
Yeah.
and I think there's at least one instance where he actually refuses to take it.
Yeah.
He's just like, no, like even though he captured it, he's just like, no, like you need to have this one, and
Yeah.
he lets her take it.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, and I don't know, it was just interesting characterization for a young boy and young girl that you don't normally see, like
For sure.
those sort of roles that they're in, and
Yeah.
and how much she gets the better of him, and how frequently, you know what I mean?
And weirdly, they bond over it in a weird way. Not in like a, hey, we're friends now, but in a way like they tend to they grow as counterparts.
they push each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It's
Yeah.
like it's this show's version of like Mortal Enemies.
Yeah.
But of course, this show they're kind of friends.
Yeah, they're never against each other. They're always working together. It's like, you know how the mortal enemies one time will have to work together to fight a greater enemy?
Yes.
Every episode is
Every
that.
that's their whole
Yeah, that's it,
relationship.
the whole
Yeah,
thing, yeah.
They just skipped right to that part where
Yeah.
they're working together now.
Exactly.
But just to go back a little bit, the thing about anime versus North American animation
Yeah.
is like you get an internal monologue with anime, right? So you get to see and hear their process and hear their
Yeah,
struggles.
for sure.
Where in North American animation, you don't get that. You
Rarely, for sure, I agree
Very
with you.
rarely,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
That's
I
true. You
thi-
get insight into what they're going
yeah,
through.
and so you kind of end up seeing that character development more.
Yeah.
Or being able to relate to them more.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that for sure.
So, do we have any more plot? Or
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Are we running out of time?
Yeah, we're
okay,
running
I'll
out of
skip
time.
over some. I was going to go over some of the cards, but we'll skip over that because they're all fucking bullshit, and I don't give a shit about any of them, to be honest with you.
Listen, I loved the cards. I loved
yeah.
some of them, but I agree. Like for me, the real interest here was the characters.
Okay.
100%.
So let's get
Okay.
into, there's a couple of plot points that need
Yeah.
to be spoken about still before we move on.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Sakura's mom and dad situation. We have to touch on that.
Yeah.
So there's an illusion card episode early on that takes the shape of her mom.
oh my god, dude, that episode was so fucking emotional, dude.
The thing was, though, is from me, I found it a massive missed opportunity. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was really early on. And I'm like, God forbid they get into something.
Yeah, they,
Please.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
know.
But they literally just, the card was called Illusion. It took the shape of her mom. She caught it. You don't hear about it ever again until the very, very end of the season, right?
Yeah.
So again, we hope season 2 they develop on this, but they didn't.
Well,
yet.
I mean, the last scene of that episode, you realize that Toya, her brother, has some magical
Yeah.
ability, and he can see ghosts.
and they develop on that.
And he
later.
does see her mom's ghost, kind of behind Sakura, like
Yeah.
looking at her, like, you know, crying, like fondly. You know what I mean? Like watching over her. You know what I mean? And that's not the illusion card.
When I watched it, I actually thought that it was. I didn't catch that was
the
different.
illusion card had been captured at that point.
Yeah, but I don't know what the fuck. It could come back out and just be there for a second. I don't know, dude.
I almost spat out my drink.
to me, it confirmed that like the illusion card definitely was obviously taking the form of their mother, but like
Also, her mom was
her
also
mom was
there
also
watching.
there.
All right.
like,
I mean,
at the same time.
sure.
I thought it was really sweet,
I like it.
and
was sweet
it
enough.
also gave Toya like, something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Other than just lusting after Yukito,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
All right.
he
You're right.
he needed something.
I mean, he didn't need something, but he got it.
Well,
so,
they're a magical
great.
family. Like it makes
you're
sense.
Right. And again, if they develop it in season 2, then you're right. He needed it.
Yeah.
So let me breeze through this next important part. There's like that beach house episode, the summer house episode.
Yes.
So we find out before that episode that Sakura's dad married one of his students, and she dies somehow. We don't know how. And that she was actually Tomoyo's mom's best friend, which is a weird tie-in. And Tomoyo's mom still blames Sakura's dad for her death.
Yeah.
They don't develop on that ever again. They just tell you that that's how it was.
Yeah.
Classic for this show. Yeah. Okay, so then in the summer house episode, Sakura just sits down with a strange rich man for tea, who already has 2 glasses filled, right? Which right away is a red flag. But it's also not the only red flag. Because he's got a room full of teddy bears, right?
Yeah.
And he's taking photos of her while she's playing tennis.
Yeah.
And he's dressing her up in his granddaughter's clothes. And nobody's concerned.
I was.
Me too, dude.
Because we're regular human beings.
Everyone else in the show is legit like encouraging it. Oh, you should go see your new friend.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you're never fucking going there again.
Literally. It's
Yeah.
very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That hurt me. So then it turns out though that guy is actually her great great grandfather.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's all above board.
Yeah, of course. So my question is did the dad know somehow? What the fuck's going on? Do we care? Do we need to know at this point? I don't know.
Yeah. Did they establish if it was on her dad's side or mom's side?
It was her mom's side.
So maybe the dad
Like the
didn't know.
granddaughter that's clothes she was dressing her in was, I think, her mom's clothes. Like that's her dad. That's her mom's grandpa.
Yeah. So maybe the dad didn't know.
I don't know. I hope the dad knew, because otherwise that's problematic.
It is.
Well,
it is.
it is the 90s. A lot of things are very problematic
Sure,
in
yeah.
the 90s. Because that's the thing, right? Again, when we're watching these things, we got to consider, like, if it came out in the 90s, even early 2000s, there's going to be
Yeah.
a lot of problematic shit.
Yeah, sure.
And I mean, even now, right? Like,
Even in the 90s, though, like you don't let your young daughter just hang out with an old man who's doing weird things.
Yeah, agreed.
You know what I mean? Like, even in the 90s, you're not going to catch people allowing that to happen. Anyways, okay, there's one more important piece of plot we have to get into briefly before we move on, and that's the substitute teacher. Okay,
Yeah,
so
there's always a substitute teacher episode.
So what the reason she's important though is they allude to it being her in the dream that Sakura kept having.
Right.
And then you find out that there's a flashback. Sakura is like in a tree, and the tree what was like part of this moment that the substitute teacher actually had with her brother. And so
Yeah.
you see this flashback where the brother and the teacher had like a magical vision together.
They
And they
did.
probably fucked.
It's implied, yeah, that there was.
Yeah.
It definitely implies that there was some sort of relationship,
Yeah.
connection going on.
Yeah.
There.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
That's literally the end of the show. Right? Oh, sorry. We established earlier the last episode is one of these like elemental cards or something. I forget what they call it. And Karo gets some energy back. But like,
Right.
that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Just got to keep watching to get more.
Do you though?
Yeah, well,
I do,
You do.
You do.
and I'll tell you.
know.
I'll tell you what happens.
I want to hear only the important parts that develop. I don't want to hear anything else.
No, I'm going to tell you every detail of every episode. Of
Here's
every
what's gonna happen.
captured
This is our
Clow
new
Card.
tradition then. You're gonna watch an episode every morning before work, and you're gonna text me.
If
Okay?
anything happened or not.
Yeah.
I'm just
No.
going to say not today. Not today.
Yeah.
Today,
Yeah.
this happened.
I had a different idea, but I like that better.
Okay.
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
And then you're going to be sad when it's over.
Nope. Do
I
you know how glad I was that it was over when it was?
okay. So, because we're really running out of time now.
Okay. You want my score?
Well, before we get to your score, I want to know, like, was this worse than Monster Musume? Because you
Okay.
said Monster Musume was pretty bad for
Okay,
you.
here's the answer. Was it worse as a viewing experience? Yes.
Okay.
Can I score it less? No, I cannot.
Is that only due to
Yeah.
the length and format in which you binged?
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there is more substance here than
Yeah.
in Monster Musume.
Monster Musume at least made me laugh.
yeah.
This show didn't make me anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
That's so this show gets 3 out of 10, and that's only because I couldn't score it lower than Monster Musume.
yeah.
What was Monster Musume for you? 2?
I think I gave it a 2
a 2.
To, yeah.
for giggles' sake.
Yeah. So this gets a 3,
just
and that
yeah.
extra point is coming from
Not I don't know.
wanting to score it
Yeah,
the same
lower
as
than-
Monster Musume.
Yeah, well, because
That's the
of
only
all the
reason.
weird, intricate, and tumultuous relationships that are happening within the anime. That's to give it some more substance.
I mean, sure, it had a little more substance. It was just painful for me. Like as a watching experience, this was painful. Monster Musume, at least, like, you know what I mean? It was funny. I was laughing at it. I was laughing at the fact that I was watching it. This, I was
Painful, like, you just mean like you were bored?
so goddamn bored, dude.
Right. But like,
So goddamn bored.
when you say painful, like
Yeah.
it implies that there was this was like difficult in the sense that like
Yeah.
in a way differently than just being bored with it. You know what I mean? Like
No, it was
like
just because I was bored.
Okay.
So bored.
I just want you to be like clear about
I'm
that.
being, I'm very clear.
because there's,
And maybe
there's nothing offensive about this show at all.
No.
Like there's nothing actually painful. It's actually
No.
incredibly pain-free, but it's just boring to you.
no, do you know what it is? It's he didn't have his breakfast with him while he was watching.
true.
I'm
That's
not
what
a
he
breakfast guy.
That
So I
is-
would just be
that is a
watching this-
lie.
I'd just be watching this empty bowl with empty bowl.
You told me you just recently had Wendy's new
I did,
breakfast.
but that was an anomaly in my life. I don't really eat breakfast.
Anyway, what about you, Jay?
Okay, well, I can actually appreciate things in general.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I will say, you know, 30 if we're judging just the first 35 episodes, I definitely wanted more. I wanted this to actually go somewhere. It didn't really, but I love the levity. I love the art. I love the visual style. I love the characters. So I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10.
That's actually a lot lower than I thought you would give it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I thought he would at least given it a 7.5.
You haven't watched it in like 15 years, so what are you going to score it based on memory?
Yeah, memory and just like nostalgia. I think I'm pretty neutral. A 4, 5.
Okay.
Yeah, just because I remember liking the cards every time they showed up, and,
Yeah.
and seeing the new designs of each card.
I will
But
say,
that's
like,
about it.
I'm willing to up my score depending on how the rest of the show goes. For
Oh,
sure.
there
Yeah,
you go.
Fair,
Shweebs.
sure.
Yeah.
And
Shweebs.
honestly, like if we watched season 2 and I had to rescore it based on season 2, probably same. I mean, I hope same. I fucking hope.
Listen, if I watch season 2 and shit really pops off in season 2, then
Yeah.
maybe we'll have a part 2 for this episode.
Yeah.
Please no.
You heard it here, folks. Part 2 coming up.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you, guys.
Jordy, where can people find you?
At reaching in, say what's up if you want.
Yeah, Jay, how about you?
At hanger.91 on Instagram, hanger91.bigcartel.com.
Yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram at KoreanBarbecue86. You can see pictures of my cats, especially Toad, the one that fucked up my CGC comics just now.
He's been our disruptor lately.
Yeah,
He's a good kitty though.
in
We
the,
love
in the
him.
last few episodes. Yeah, but
One day
I
he'll hop on the
promise-
table, guaranteed.
Yeah, I promise. I'll buy a door to the upstairs so you can't get in.
Also, don't forget, we're at Shmanime Pod on all socials. Check us
Yep.
out on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, wherever the fuck you like
Yeah.
to see people doing
Follow
stupid
us.
shit.
Follow us.
Follow
I don't
us,
even care
comment.
I don't care if you mute us after you follow us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Subscribe.
please follow us.
Yeah.
And tell other people if you
We're
like.
not desperate.
Yeah, if you like, if you liked our shit, if you like our banter, let other people know. If you like anime, just
Yeah.
in general, and know other people that like anime, just help.
Wow.
Okay,
love
bye
you.
guys, love
See you
you.
guys. Peace.